Have you ever wondered who would win in a fight between Darui and Hidan? Well, today we're going to find that out. What's up, everybody? I'm B-True, and today we're going to determine who would win in a 1v1 fight to the death between Darui and Hidan. But first, pause the video and comment below who you think would win and why. Alright, so here are the rules to my Naruto March Madness Death Battle Tournament. Each fight will be a fight to the death. No special items will be used. Both characters will be in their prime with no pre-existing injuries or diseases. I will not be considering any of Darui's skills past the end of Naruto. I will also be approaching each fight with the mindset that neither of these characters have met before, so they know nothing of each other's strengths and weaknesses. All fights will take place in the final valley, because it's just such a badass arena. I will be judging the outcome based on 9 factors. Strength, speed, stamina, intelligence, ninjutsu, taijutsu, genjutsu, important factors, and intangibles. Remember, this fight is purely fictional, based on my own subjective opinion, and is meant only for entertainment. Now let's jump into it. First up, strength. Now Darui doesn't have many feats of strength in his limited time on screen. He does have 2 distinct forms of combat, Kenjutsu, which he uses with a foldable sword, and long-range ninjutsu using his water and lightning release jutsu. Neither of these rely on physical strength, so his physical prowess is pretty difficult to judge. Hidan, on the other hand, is much easier to examine. He wields a large 3-bladed scythe that is roughly the size of his own body. He wields this scythe effortlessly with one hand and is even able to throw it long distances and adjust its course mid-air with a cable that is attached to its blade. So due to this, Hidan gets the first category of strength. Next up is speed. Now Darui is extremely fast, able to come close enough to the 4th Raikage's speed that he can coordinate attacks with him. On top of this, he has incredible reflexes that he showed off when Suigetsu tried to sneak attack C. Now Hidan is also extremely fast. On top of this, he is even more nimble and agile. However, he does have one drawback. His scythe severely slows him down when he's wielding it due to its size and weight. He even admits that among the Akatsuki, he is the slowest. This is by no means make him slow, however, as he is fast enough that Asuma could not land a single attack on him, and he's agile enough that he could continually dodge Shikamaru's shadow stitching even in mid-air by lodging his scythe into a tree and using it to reposition. So while Hidan's speed is formidable, Darui wins this category due to Hidan's scythe slowing him down. For stamina, I will be examining both their physical and their chakra stamina. Now Darui has excellent stamina, both physical and especially in his chakra reserves. He's shown the ability to fight hand-to-hand with the Gold and Silver brothers for long periods of time without getting tired. He also was able to use 3 of the tools of the Sage of 6 Paths while still having enough chakra to use ninjutsu, something that was said to only be possible for the Gold and Silver brothers because they had absorbed parts of the Nine Tails. This shows how deep his chakra pool is and how much stamina he possesses. Hidan has a whole different type of stamina. Due to his unique skills, he really does not rely on chakra at all, and instead only needs his physical stamina. He has exceptional physical stamina, mainly due to his immortality. He's able to heal from almost any wound practically instantly aside from dismemberment. For this reason, I'm making this category a tie between Darui winning the chakra portion and Hidan winning the physical portion. Now, as with stamina, intelligence has multiple parts: your planning, your perception, and your ability to adapt. Of the things that Darui excels at, his intelligence may be his best attribute. He's a great tactician and is able to calmly and effectively analyze battles quickly. He was able to figure out the Gold and Silver brothers' attacks as well as the powers of the tools of the 6 Paths almost immediately, showing his high intellect. He's also very slow to rush into something without having a strong plan of attack. Hidan is the complete opposite. Because of his immortality, he's grown very reckless, constantly rushing headfirst into battle, knowing that he cannot be killed. His arrogance has led to his battle intelligence growing very dull, and he has next to no ability to adapt due to his one-dimensional fighting style. So Darui wins this category hands down. Alright, it's ninjutsu time. And one of Darui's biggest strengths is his ability to simultaneously use two elemental attributes at the same time, with his water release buffing his lightning release. He's able to use his water element to pin enemies and soak them with water, then send his lightning element through the water to increase its damage. On top of this, he can even combine the two to use his Gale style, which creates beams of energy that can be precisely controlled and maneuvered like the flow of water. Then, finally, he has his Black Lightning techniques. The difference between regular lightning attacks and black lightning attacks is not known, but it's speculated that the black lightning attacks have much more potency and do more damage. Also, black lightning looks really, really cool. Hidan does not use ninjutsu, so there's really nothing to say here, so Darui wins. Neither character really engages in taijutsu in the series, so for this category, I'm going to be changing it to be looking at their sword fighting abilities. And Darui uses a medium-sized foldable sword. The fact that it's foldable isn't relevant, I just think it's really cool. He's able to match and even defeat Suigetsu in sword combat due to his ability to infuse his sword with his lightning element, increasing its cutting ability and even allowing it to cut through metal. Hidan has a very straightforward sword fighting style. He only aims to wound his enemy, so he doesn't really use precision, opting instead for an all-out assault, attempting to make his enemy make a mistake. Despite his lack of precise strategy, he's extremely precise with his scythe though. Using the cable attached to it, he can throw the scythe at his opponent, then immediately change its direction 90 degrees to whichever direction his opponent dodges. Because of this, he leaves his enemy little openings to counterattack. This is a very close category, but I'm giving it to Hidan based on pure sword fighting ability and control. As with the Sage Naruto and Might Guy fight, neither character uses genjutsu, so this category is a draw. Now here's where things get interesting. On to the important jutsu. Darui has a few important jutsu. He has a water wall, which he can use to push an enemy back and create space, which he can then channel lightning through to deal heavy damage to anyone caught in the wave. He has his Black Panther attack, which he can use to immobilize several enemies, and he can even double its effectiveness by using a shadow clone to produce 2 Black Panthers. Finally, he has his Gale-style laser circus, a jutsu that sends beams of energy toward an opponent with pinpoint accuracy, even able to swerve around obstacles that he can use to pierce and pin down an enemy with. Hidan is the epitome of a one-trick pony. He has one move, but it's so overpowered that he doesn't need anything else. Upon causing a small wound and obtaining some of his opponent's blood, Hidan can enter his death possession circle, where any damage done to him, his enemy sustains as well. This attack is a guaranteed kill, and for that, he wins this category. And for the special factors, I've pretty much covered Hidan's special factors in his ability to instantly kill his opponent, and I don't want to count this too many times, so I'm going to leave that out of this category. Instead, I'll be looking at his immortality. Hidan is unable to die except by starvation, but this does not make him invincible. He's still prone to dismemberment, and without Kakuzu around to stitch him back up, he cannot recover from losing limbs. Hidan is also very arrogant with little to no strategy in his fights. He relies too heavily on his immortality, and this has led him to become mistake-prone and sloppy while fighting. For Darui, I'll be looking at his ability to incapacitate his opponent multiple ways with his different jutsu, as well as his ability to imbue his blade with lightning and cut through just about anything. He does have one downside, which is his laid-back attitude. In a fight where one small injury can lead to death, this is a huge negative. But despite his laid-back nature, Darui wins the final category. Here we go, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is how I believe the fight would go down. It's a pleasant day. The sun is shining and birds are chirping as Darui lays in the grass staring into the sky. He hears someone walking by, but doesn't lift his head, instead calling out, "Hello, friend." Hearing this stranger call him friend infuriates Hidan. He throws his scythe at Darui's head, narrowly missing Darui as he rolls out of the way. "That's no way to say hello," says Darui. "Shut the hell up," Hidan screams. "You're pissing me off. Now become a sacrifice to the almighty Joshin." Upon studying the stranger, Darui notices his robes and realizes this enemy is part of the Akatsuki. Knowing their reputation, Darui decides he must be serious if he's going to engage in combat with this foe. Hidan lashes forward, swinging his scythe violently in all directions as Darui falls back, parrying the attacks with his own blade. Darui tries to unleash a ninjutsu attack, but Hidan is too relentless, not allowing him enough time to weave his hand signals. Darui jumps into the air to avoid a scythe attack, hoping to get behind Hidan, but this is just what Hidan wanted. With little difficulty, he abruptly changes his scythe's direction, which is now shooting towards Darui. Darui decides he has no choice and imbues his sword with his lightning element and cuts Hidan's scythe in half. "What the hell did you do?" Hidan bellows. Now that Darui has some time, he quickly weaves his hand signals and creates a wave of water to distance himself from Hidan. However, now that Hidan does not have his scythe, he's much faster. His increased speed allows him to dodge the water wall as he pulls out his metal spike. "Looks like I'll have to do this the hard way," Hidan says. Again, Hidan charges after Darui, although with his new weapon, he is far outclassed by Darui in sword fighting. Darui disarms Hidan as he stabs him through the chest. "Ouch, you bastard!" Hidan cackles as he pulls Darui's sword out of his chest. "Thanks for the weapon," he screams as he begins shrieking with pleasure again, advancing on Darui. Without his sword, Darui has no real way to defend himself now as he dodges blow after blow. Darui then creates a shadow clone as they separate to create space. Both he and his clone cast the Black Panther Jutsu as they both strike Hidan, leaving a smoldering body on the ground. Hidan then crawls back up and shrieks with laughter again. "Why won't you die?" Darui asks. "Nothing can kill a follower of the almighty Jashin," Hidan retorts. Darui's beginning to run out of options. While he was casting his Black Panther Jutsu, though, Darui did not notice that Hidan had picked up the small piece of the scythe that Darui had cut off earlier in the fight. With a quick slash, Hidan sneak attacks Darui, leaving a small cut on his upper arm. "Now it's time to suffer the wrath of Jashin," Hidan screams as he licks the blood off the blade. His skin turns black as the Jashin tribal markings cover his body. Hidan takes his time, drawing the blood circle to finalize the ritual. Darui doesn't know what's happening, but he knows it isn't good. Using his intuition and perception, Darui deduces that whatever Hidan is planning revolves around that circle, and he must get Hidan out of it. Hidan finishes closing the circle as he's hit with Darui's Gale-style laser circus in the leg and upper arm. The attack pierces Hidan and pushes him out of the circle, but the preparation was already completed, so Darui sustains the same damage. Hit with intense pain, Darui falls to the ground, hardly able to use his left leg or arm. The jutsu holding Hidan out of the circle fades as Hidan rushes to get back inside. Darui knows this is his last chance. He must stop Hidan from getting inside the circle if he wants to survive. He quickly creates a shadow clone that dashes towards Hidan, meeting him just outside the circle and tackling him to the ground. The two begin fist fighting, trading blows. Darui uses his sword to prop himself back up as he casts another Gale-style laser circus. The beams of energy gracefully slide around the clone and pin Hidan to the ground, piercing his legs, arms, and torso, making it impossible for him to move. Darui's shadow clone then casts a point-blank Black Panther, further immobilizing Hidan. At this point, Hidan is paralyzed, unable to move, as Darui hobbles over to his body. "You can't kill me," Hidan laughs. "I don't have to," Darui calmly states as he cuts Hidan's head off and throws it over the waterfall. Darui is victorious. So there you have it, Darui wins. Now what really determined this battle in my mind was Darui's ability to use his jutsu to immobilize Hidan, as well as use his lightning blade to cut through Hidan's only real weapon. At first, when I thought about this fight, I thought Hidan would win. I thought Darui's carefree attitude would lead him to getting cut and losing the fight. However, after doing research, I remembered how many tools Darui had in his arsenal to take care of Hidan. Not to mention the fact that he basically defeated the Gold and Silver brothers single-handedly. Darui was a perfect counter to Hidan due to his lightning style being able to paralyze Hidan and create separation between them, which Hidan cannot deal with. This and the fact that the two are completely opposite, with Hidan being arrogant and rushing headfirst into a fight with no strategy, and Darui being very skilled in Kai and creating battle plans and analyzing situations, gave Darui the edge in my mind and the victory. So like I said earlier, this was purely subjective and meant for entertainment purposes only. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about the fight after you leave your comment, telling me who you thought would win. Let me know what you think about this style with me sort of narrating the fight and creating like a battle, a sort of battle in the background for you to picture as the fight goes on. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Next fight is going to be Ino versus Nagato. Now, you may be thinking, this isn't going to be a competition, but you're not going to know until you watch the next video. And to that end, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you can watch the next video as soon as it comes out, as we start to narrow down this March Madness Death Battle Tournament into one final victor. So far, we have Might Guy winning the first battle, and now Darui is our second victor. So we got 2 more fights in the first round. Let's see how it all plays out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, if it was entertaining, you enjoyed the fight, please click the like button down below. It really helps my channel grow. I do appreciate it. Also, thank you all so much for sticking around to this point. If you are still watching, you guys mean the world to me. You're the only reason I'm able to do this. Put a lot of effort into this video, so I really do hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching. See you guys in the next fight. And have a great day, everybody, and peace.